football trophies are sacred. From spittoons to axes, symbols of animosity and history between two programs. And today, one of the more obscure trophies at stake for the hotly contested Illabuck. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. Illinois will kick it off to get us underway. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. So Ohio State's offense will have the football first. Blowouts in rivalry games can be the result of a number of factors. Sometimes teams start pressing. Sometimes it just gets away. Sometimes they didn't have the right mindset. The last time they got together, lopsided. What happens this time, David?
But either way, last time affects this time, because all you've heard about is we weren't even competitive. This is a rivalry game, a big-time game. We didn't show up. We dishonored our previous teams and squads, and we've got to do better. That's all they've heard coming into this game, Palmer.
Yeah, David, I think that was the story the last time these teams played. One team handled the emotion of the game better than the other team. You've got to be able to play within yourselves and play one snap at a time. That last game got away from the losing team. I don't expect that to happen today.
Quarterback may change this route. Dropping back, it's St. Clair. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. He's got it along the sideline. Touchdown, Buckeyes! He broke away from the defense, and they couldn't catch him.
This offense is so good. Man, they can hurt you in so many different ways, and they do it so quick, so explosive. They can put small drives together, big drives together. They've really had a great year, and that's why they're a top 10 offense.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. So the Illinois Fighting Illini now go on offense, and they'll have it for the first time. And what a performance, an aerial show from this guy in the last game, and he has to have a ton of confidence coming into this one, David.
Yeah, it was a great week. And watching that tape before this game, like you could tell, man, he was singing it quick. The ball was coming out, just touchdowns at will. A really nice day. And I think, Jesse, you take that and you start to build on it for this offense and really continue to trust him to make plays through the air.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think he really earned his offensive coordinator's trust after that performance. So I'm anticipating the playbook to expand a little bit in this game. Maybe see some new schemes in the passing game just based on what this guy was able to do the last time he took the field.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
Takes a hit as he fires. The sure hands, it's Dixon. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. Illinois coming out with a 1st and 10. Give to the running back. Can't get him to the ground. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball. This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Look out, he's got room. Hard-hitting tackle.
Yeah, I tell you what, when you start a game in the first quarter and you show me I will run my quarterback like you did here, it makes me defend the whole field. It makes me a lot more nervous. You can tell this quarterback will be a threat throughout this football game.
He'll keep it on the sneak. Just nowhere to go against this defense to find that single yard he needed on 3rd down. This is an opportunity to show your offense you believe in them. Their opening drive of the game, still in their own territory, going for it on 4th down. And that decision will be questioned for a while. To the air, it's St. Clair. got him. On the move at the 30. He's finally stopped and brought down at the 15.
I'll tell you, this guy has to get touches early in games. They're doing a good job of that right now. He's so dangerous once he has the ball in his hands. And I think if you're on offense, you move him around and you find more creative ways to get him involved.
Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Guys, let's talk for a minute about Ohio State. It's been a season to remember so far, fresh off their new top 10 ranking. How far can this team go?
Well, they're starting to get there now, right? And I think once you get some big wins...
Touchdown, Ohio State! They wanted to finish, and that they did on that possession.
You know, oftentimes in college football, the best offenses are the ones that can create explosive plays, just like you saw right there. They're top 10 in the nation in points per game because they don't have to drive the field. They've got dudes scattered all over this offense that can take it the distance on any given play.
On the move from inside his 5. Excellent job by the kick coverage team. A pretty minimal gain on that return. The Illinois offense returns to the field. To say this has been a slow start is a bit of an understatement, and they really need to get it going here, Jesse.
That's right. The opponent, they're firing on all cylinders right out of the gate. Offensively for this unit, they've been slow and struggling. They need an explosive play to wake themselves up.
Yeah, and it's just the first quarter, so it's not the end of the world. You've seen slow starts, but you got to continue to pick and pick and pick until you find that play or that scheme that you can use against this defense.
They're going to ride this running back. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. After the productive first down play at 2nd and 6. On the move. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And that's exactly what you want to do as a defense, man. You want to get penetration and not let that tank get downhill. Because when he gets downhill at that weight and that size, it could be a problem for your defense. Get him before he gets started.
Looking to throw, it's Newton. Shoots it to the left. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Nice pickup there. Gets him the first down and sets him up at the 45-yard line. Illinois putting together a really nice drive. Gives it on the option. They'll pick up 4, 2nd and 6 coming.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. When it's first down, the defense thinks you might be running the football. You still can line up, you can get some movement at the point of attack, and find a little crease for your running back.
Looking to fire. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And he gets it just beyond the line of scrimmage before he gets down. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. And they were able to build that lead into double figures. Let's take a quick look at our early stats before we move on. So they go back to work after the break, and it is 3rd down. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. He's not even going to make it back to the line of scrimmage as the defense gets big-time penetration. Now on 4th down and 5, they'll try to move the chains. Trying play action. Extending the play.
This is the most annoying thing in the world for a defense, is when you start to play all these plays and all these pass concepts and routes, and then you let the quarterback get outside the pocket, and he takes off, and he gets a first down. Like, so much to defend. That is the hardest thing to defend, because you don't know where it's going to happen on the field and when it's going to happen.
The Fighting Illini with options here on 2nd and short. It's a draw. He never had a chance on the draw. Tackled almost as soon as he got the ball.
That's such a great physical play by the defense because this is one of the bigger, more physical running backs you'll see in the country, and we're used to seeing him push the pile the other direction. Not that time. It's the big guys up front on defense getting penetration, and they're sending him back for a tackle for loss.
And they decide to trot out the kicker. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. Slides that just inside the right upright. Now the lead is down to 11.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Under fire. Incomplete thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm. This rivalry more than a century old with the Buckeyes dominating most of the time, guys.
And just think about that. All this time, these Ohio State and Illinois fans have been talking about and looking forward to this run.
He'll take the deep shot. Reels it in down the left side. And they'll bring him down after the long completion, a chunk play for the offense. What a dynamic play on that last one. Flips the field, and they've got it 1st and 10 from the 28. He's got it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Buckeyes. They want to finish the season strong, and man, are they doing that here in this Week 11 performance.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defenses all year long.
Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. This is hardly the start they dreamed of, down 21-3. But get a touchdown here, and you feel like you're back in it, Jesse.
Yeah, it's frustrating for this offense as well because they've got the horses. They've got playmakers to light this scoreboard up, much more than the 3 points we're seeing here. I think you just got to stay true to yourself, do you, David, and know that the points are going to come.
Well, it's also frustrating when the defense is giving up points almost every single possession. So they need to score here and take this down and have a good drive, and then the defense needs to pull their weight a little bit too.
They'll start this one from the 29 on 1st down. Scanning the field, it's Newton. It's complete to the left. They'll get him on the ground at the 46, and it'll be a 1st down. New set of downs after the completion. Sends it back in motion. To the air on 1st down. He's got an open man. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the 1st down.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver.
And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play.
Man, those are backbreakers. Defensively, you get so excited. You force the fumble, I'm going to get a turnover, and the offense falls.
The Illini just added to its workload after that last play. It's 2nd and long. Under fire. This dude is having a day, and with that one, he's halfway to Chase Young's 4-sack single-game record.
Go get it, young fella. Just quickness, speed off the edge, getting to the quarterback. You got to be relentless when you're chasing the quarterback. And Chase Young's record, if you can go get that, you go get that big fella, that superstar, oof, that would be a fun day.
Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch. Gets off his first one of the day. He was called on 5 times in the victory last week. He gets it up to the 34-yard line before he stopped, and that's where the offense will set up shop. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Use the play fake. Now to throw. It's incomplete, and trust me, you will not see that very often from this guy. It's 2nd down.
Man, that's one you expect him to make in his sleep, right? He's one of the better receivers in the entire country. He just dropped that one over the middle of the field.
And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical and pass deep.
Yeah, and you just wonder if the defense now has taken out some frustration. Obviously, they've been getting lit up all over the place, and that time they finally gave it back to the offense there. Really nice, big, clean hit. This defense needs a little bit more of that as the game goes on.
And the Buckeyes will have it 1st and 10. On the run, it's Rodgers. Got the first down and more. They are finding soft spots in this defense. He's got it down to the 25. The Buckeyes, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. And this offense went right back to the well, and this time the defense made sure it ran dry. They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. From the gun, running back gets the give. He's stopped for no gain again. Back-to-back runs, and they have nothing to show for it except facing a 3rd and long. Looking to pass, it's St. Clair. Throws to the wideout. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
I know one of the things this defense really prides themselves on is being physical, and early in this game, putting a big hit on a guy that's already had a couple catches in this game, that's a good omen for the defense.
Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. They spun that wheel of fortune on 4th down and come up bankrupt. Defense in press coverage. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Just a hair too much on it from this big-arm sophomore quarterback. The trophy that the Buckeyes and Illini play for, the Illibuck, guys, is a giant wooden turtle.
Imagine that, man. You're having to put your trophies in a water tank and feed it. It's probably the only...
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. He's going to take off. He's past the 30. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a 1st down at the 38. We've got a timeout here late in the 1st half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Here comes the heat. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32. The offense will stop the clock and use one of its timeouts. Now facing 2nd and long after the defense came up with that sack. And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again. Referee signals timeout as the defense wanting to make sure that they have everything just right with a big play coming. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, a check down would be the last resort. Timeout is called, and it's the defense wanting to make sure that everyone's on the same page for this big down. They punted away on 4th down. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. Wants to throw. It's St. Clair. He rifles one deep to the left. Hauls it in down the sideline. Shoved out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 15-yard line, and this offense is doing work. And after that pitch and catch, he's already over 200 yards. We're in the 1st half, Jesse.
Man, Reese, he's dialed in right now. He's really doing a nice job seeing the field, reading coverages, and finding his open guy.
Out of the backfield, he's open. Touchdown, Ohio State! And they take it in for 6 more points.
And we are officially in blowout mode. This offense has been up and down the field. We've seen so many explosive plays, and they score again before going in at halftime, guys. I'm hoping we can have a running clock here in the 2nd half.
He'll start the return inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. Offense has enough time to get off a play before we head to the half. From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. And the defense makes the tackle, and that ought to do it here in the 1st half. 1st half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Buckeyes Buckeyes will kick it away to start the second half. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. The Illinois offense returns to the field. Got blown out in the first half and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the third quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build that momentum, and then that becomes infectious for the defense, for special teams. Everything can change. It just takes one play.
It really can, and it's so strange, and you can't quantify it. I don't know how to describe it as a coach or as a player, but you got to make something happen, and it's got to start on this drive.
They went right back to him, and this time the defense was all over him. Nothing to show for that run. Illinois now staring at a 3rd and short. Looking downfield, it's Newton. Got his man down the middle. This offense has a little room and a fresh set of downs at the 23. Illinois picked up the first down. Now here they come again. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurt. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate in his pass.
He's going to lose a yard on that one.
And it's been a surprise today for this offense. Like, coming into the game, we all talked about it. We thought they'd be able to run against this defense that's been run on a lot, and this offense just can't get the running game going. Be interested to see what they do to try to change it up, but somehow, some way.
Makes the grab on the left side. How about this? You're picking up some yardage and making a nice play on that one. Illinois moving it quickly down the field. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Quickly to the tight end. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Still some work to do after that last completion at second down. Now the play fake. Fires to the wideout. Caught over the middle. It's Dixon. Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. In search of their first touchdown of the game, they are on the move with a 1st and 10. They just keep firing. On the run, fires downfield. Intercepted.
And he makes a play in the back end. Nice job reading the pass, and that's his 2nd of the season. This guy, unbelievable job seeing the quarterback, breaking on the quarterback, and going and getting that big play.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Looking to throw, it's St. Clair. Finds his tight end. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43. Passing game kept this drive moving. Let's see if they try it again. Wants to throw on first down. He hurls one deep down the left side. Makes the catch. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Buckeyes starting to pull away from this one, and Illinois is in trouble.
First of all, we all know Ohio State's the more talented team. Every time they play, Illinois knows that going into. They need things to go right. Not everything going right in this rivalry game. The wheels are starting to come off, Palmer.
Yeah, you're right, David. At this game, this is really Illinois' national championship. Ohio State's expected to win, but you're never sure what their headspace is going to be coming into it. They came in here locked and loaded and focused, and they're showing it here in the second half.
Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. Boy, they had that last drive moving a little bit, David, but then the mistake just crushed them.
Yeah, and those mistakes are going to happen. You're going to throw the football, you're going to throw interceptions. But I think I stay aggressive with this offense. I get back to what I did in the first part of that drive with made me successful.
I agree, David. Just turn the page if you're a quarterback, right? On this drive, you did a lot of good things there leading up to that pick. Forget about it, move on, play the next play.
Here's a quick throw out to the left. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
On third down, he drops to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Picked off. What a play to set him up. Got some room to run. Touchdown, Ohio State. What a play. Not only the interception, but the great return for the score. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
A lot of interest in this CUSA showdown today, so let's catch you up to speed on things. FIU is trailing right now, and I know it may look bleak, but this team needs to regroup, remind itself it's at home, and remember just how quickly things can change. They're trailing by 11 to Louisiana Tech.
Fires to the tight end.
Two fan bases with very different emotions in CUSA as we send it back to you.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Pulls and fires complete to the right. Turning it on. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. And he dropped it, just didn't hook the thing all the way in.
Obviously, when you're playing in weather like this, the ball is very slippery and it's hard to catch. The QB threw a bullet that time, and his receiver just could not reel it in.
This time, he's got his man. Good execution. They move the sticks, and they've got it at the 33.
I know the offense is down by a lot here in the second half. You just need one big play, though, to spark the offense, get the confidence going, and they may have found it right there in that completion. Good throw, good catch. Now we got to keep it going.
And the physical play there forces the incompletion on first down.
This offense hasn't been able to generate a lot of points in this one. Here in the third quarter, you're seeing the defense and how much pride they take on being physical. It's not just stopping the run. Guys in the back end flying to the football in the air, getting hits on guys, that time on the receiver, knocking it loose.
And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
This has got to be disappointing if you're the offense, guys. You were expecting to have a lot of success running the ball, especially against this defense, which has struggled so much this season, but just nothing doing. They have not been good enough in the trenches so far.
Not a lot of good things happen when your quarterback gets hurried. When you speed up that processor just a little bit, make him a little bit uncomfortable. The defense doing a little bit of that. I need a little bit more protection from this offensive line.
The punt goes out of bounds, and a nice job to get them backed up. I think they'll spot it right around the 15. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. This drive will open from the 15. This offense has really been clicking in the game. Gonna let it fly. Pulls it in on the left. Sprinting away. Touchdown, Buckeyes. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing.
A day young fella. I foresee some social media posts in his future. Not one, not two, but 3 receiving touchdowns on the day. What a ball game.
The returner's going to try to see what he can get. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Grabbed in the middle, it's Summers. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. Well, guys, Ohio State has the lead here. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. chance to mull things over, and let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Back to pass. A little screen to the running back. Oh, he's got some space. He'll step out of bounds right at the 35-yard line, and maybe they've got something cooking. They'll snap it on first down from the 35. Single back formation, and they give it to it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, but whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
Illinois needs a big play here on third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking deep down the right side. It's caught along the sidelines, but he's out of bounds. Would have had the first down if he could have stayed in the field of play. Illinois lining up to punt this one away. Wants to bring it back. And he'll work his way on the return out to the 35-yard line before he stopped. Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Boy, that last touchdown, the one-play quick strike score. Jesse, this offense hoping to keep that kind of explosiveness going.
And I don't know if they're going to get the same looks defensively because of just how explosive that play was, Reese. David, they may be seeing a little bit more off coverage on this drive and maybe some softer boxes to run into.
And when you make that kind of explosive play, you're going to put the defense on its heels. They're going to be a little bit more conservative. So this offensive approach now.
A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Ohio State. The offense cashing it in on that drive. As they push that lead out, a really good opportunity to get back in the win column. Now they've got a little breathing room. They are in firm control of this game, guys, but you never want to let up in a rivalry game.
Because it only takes one play. We know how much of a factor momentum can be in these types of rivalry games, David, so this game's still far from over.
And this is where my leadership and my experience comes into play. When you got guys that have been through these fires, been through these rivalry games, you know the swings happen quick. Now you got to swing it back your way.
They'll go to the ground. Open space at the 25. There he goes. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
Ooh, offense really lucky there. Ball on the...
The coach wants the officials to have another look at the monitor. Using a timeout here, thinks the call is going to end up going his way. The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. Illinois with huge momentum after that fumble recovery. Here they are on first down. He's in open space downfield. Lots of running room. And they are finding some space in this defense. He's got it down to the 25. The Fighting Illini using that big run to get momentum going. Snagged in the middle, it's West. He stopped just a chain link or two away from the first down and sets them up beautifully here. Illinois could try to take a shot here on 2nd and inches. The give to the single back. They'll wrestle him down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one. Coming to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down. Tries to surge ahead on the sneak. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He'll do it himself. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. It'll be 2nd down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Running to the left. And he never chance just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
Yeah, this offense, man, it's been a struggle bus. And they haven't clicked yet. They haven't found what they're really, really good at. And I'll tell you this, it's later into the fourth quarter, later in the game, obviously. They need to start airing this thing out. We got to get back in this football game because I don't know if y'all realize this, but we're down by a lot.
Now on fourth down, they'll send out the field goal unit. Already 1 for 1 on field goals today. He'll try to make it 2 for 2 from 22. Never a doubt. Right down the middle. I wouldn't say they cut into the deficit. They sort of microscopically edged off the deficit. Still a mountain to climb. Here he comes from inside his own 5. A rather ill-advised move that leaves his team in the hole. He's out of bounds at his own 4. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. Back to pass, it's St. Clair. He lets one fly deep. He's got it down the left. He's loose. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their total.
And honestly, it's been about complementary football in this game, right? We've seen this offense go up and down the field. They've been lighting up the scoreboard, but the defense has done a great job, too, getting off the field and putting their offense in really good position in this game. The head coach has got to love what he's seen on both sides of the ball today.
Continues to fight for yards. He gets a block. Oh, what vision. They eventually chase him down, but what a spectacular return that almost went all the way. Offense making its way onto the field to start the drive. Looking downfield on first down. Lets it fly deep downfield. And that one is picked up in the end zone. He's brought down. A short return, but the defense comes out on top with a pick.
And I love this defense understanding situational football. You got the lead in the fourth quarter, getting your nickel packages. You know the pass is coming, and the execution was great.
Yeah, they thrive on takeaways, and they love to get into games late with the lead because one of the strengths of their entire team is their secondary, and you saw it there. In nickel, they're able to come away with the pick, and it's looking like they're going to be able to seal this game.
After that last incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from their own 20. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Hit as he throws. He's open on the right. And he'll be run out of bounds, and these guys are piling up some serious yardage totals.
Man, it's go time for this defense now. I mean, you're down by a couple scores, and they're still making big plays. You got to find a way to get a stop, create a turnover, switch the momentum to your side quickly.
He finally goes out of bounds after the explosive play, but now the question is, did the official see something to bring it back? A solid gain on that one, and it goes for naught as the penalty will back them up. First thing you want to do if you're in a hole is stop digging. It's 1st and 20. Looking to throw at St. Clair. Bringing the heat. They've avoided the interception all day, but they were lucky to get that one back here late. It'll be 2nd down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Just keeps slinging it. Throws to the wideout. Working that left side. Breaks into the open. Finally corralled, but not before. He picks up the first down. And the Buckeyes come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. Throws toward the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get us?
Throws toward the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up. Trying to pick up a first down. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Got his man downfield. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Man, this has been a complete performance. The defense has been lights out, and the offense, obviously, just continues to pour it on. This is what you call having a great day. putting it all together, offense, defense, complementary football.
Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. First play of this drive comes from the 14-yard line. Looking to throw on first down. Got his man. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
And this game is obviously out of hand. But I think the fans would argue, too, at this point, like, all right, well, let's not throw checkdowns, right? Let's throw some deep balls and continue to open up this offense and keep fighting. I think that's what you want to see. You want to see your squad not quit. Keep fighting until the very end of the football game.
The Fighting Illini facing a 3rd and long to keep this drive alive. From the gun, wants to pass. Here's a throw downfield late. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. They'll look to pin them deep. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on it. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Now the chance to take a knee and just put the finishing touches on this victory.
Yeah, and this offense has done their job, man. They've been so productive, built the lead. Listen, their defense has pulled their weight as well. But now, Jesse, you get to exhale, you get to breathe, and you know we got the W, and we played well.
And we got to think about where we're taking our girlfriend and parents for dinner, right? What side are we ordering with our giant steak? We've earned it in this game. Now it's time to go celebrate.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
He turns that loose down the right side.
You know, I'll give it to the defense here. Obviously, it has not been their day, and this offense has gone up and down the field, lighting up the scoreboard. But you're still seeing this defense compete. And on 3rd and long, expecting pass, everybody
looking for a huge play. Makes a catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
On the move from inside his 5. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. The Illinois offense returns to the field. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type.
Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it? Timeout called by the defense. 23 seconds left on the clock. From his end zone, he'll have to get rid of it. Throws for the tight end.
And it's always interesting when you get into this garbage time and if it really matters or if it doesn't. And depending on who you talk to, it matters. But that's a big passing play. They just needed a lot more of those in this football game so they could score some points because this offense, it was a disappointing day.
Here's a snap, ready to cut one loose. Intercepted, and the defense has set him up.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
It's caught. Almost took it all the way there, but it's a huge gain, and they're set up with a 1st and goal. They ripped off a huge chunk, and now a little chunk is needed to pay it off. Into the end zone, and give him another 6. Grabs it for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Some would say run out the clock. Some would say I don't need to add points. But here's the thing. It's your job to stop them on defense. Now, listen, the handshakes, they might get a little bit interesting after this game, but the offense did their job.
He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. One more play to pad the stats. Looking to throw on first down. Pocket breaking down. And the pass is incomplete, and the ball game is complete. Hardly unusual. It is a trophy that many aren't even aware exists, but Ohio State will once again take home the second oldest trophy in the Big Ten, the Yellow Buck. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.